Hi YouTube, Tim Unkert here. In this video, we're going to look at an interview question that I saw after watching this other YouTuber. It was a Facebook interview question, um, although it could be at any tech company. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it in Python, and I'm going to modify it slightly, but let's just take a look at it. So I'm going to pull up a terminal here, and you notice I've made this nice and big so you can see it. And I'm going to create a file called sorted squared array. Okay, and so let's talk about the problem. So I'm just going to make a little comment here and say, write out the problem. So you are given an array of integers. You need to write a function that, and we'll comment again, contains a sorted array of those integers squared. Okay. Now I made a few modifications with this, so let me talk about it. So first off, we're going to allow the user to input the array length and numbers. So we're not going to be given the array. We're going to have the user create the array. Okay. And then I didn't put this in a function. You'd want to do this. So just keep that in mind if you are watching. And let's give an example of what this problem is so you can see it out. So -6, let's say we have an array, -6, -5, 2, 3, and 4. If this is the input, then the output is going to be, let's see, it's going to be 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to first create two arrays. So we're going to create the array that the user inputs. So we could call that, let's say, your array. Okay, and it's just going to be an empty array or empty list, I think is the correct terminology in Python. And then we're going to make another empty list, squared array equals just that. Okay. Now we want to print out what the program does, so we're going to say print. This program will take numbers in, square them, and sort them from least to greatest. Okay. All right. Oh, and one thing we should probably do is save this as a Python program. All right. Okay, there we go. So now we got our syntax highlighting. All right. Okay, so we're going to start off by making the user put in integers. Okay, so we're going to say while true, the array length is going to equal, move this up here, an integer input. So we do int input, and then how many numbers do you want in your array? Okay, and leave a little space there so it gives a little space between the cursor. And then we're going to break out of that if that's true. Okay, and then, oops, forgot something. We have to have try. Okay, and then we'll also type except. So if they don't do this, we're going to print you must enter an integer greater than 1. You must enter an integer. Yeah, I didn't make it greater than 1. So you must enter an integer. Okay. Now we're going to do a while loop, but we need to increment a variable. Okay, so we're going to create a variable I and say that's equal to 0. And for this while loop, we'll say while I is less than array length, and then we're going to do a while loop in here to make sure they enter in an integer, because now we've said how long the array wants to be. So now we want to enter in we want them to enter in an integer for each number in the array. So we're going to say while true, the next value is going to be a variable. I'm going to call it next value is going to equal integer, an integer of an input. What is the next number you want to enter in the array? Now, I know this is kind of going over to the next line. That's because I have this really blown up so you can see it pretty well. So it's a little messy looking, but all right. And if that's true, we'll break out. Okay. And I keep forgetting we have to add try. So we're going to try this. Okay. And if that doesn't happen, we're going to print you must enter an integer amount. Okay. All right. So we're going to go through that, and once we get back an integer, we're going to take your array, and we're going to append this next value. Okay. Then one thing, and this is very important, is we have to increase I. Otherwise, we're going to get an infinite loop. So that would be bad. Not that I did that while I was getting ready for this video. Okay. All right. So now we're going to print your original array. And then let's just take a look and make sure everything's running at this point. So your original array is, okay, and then I'm going to put a comma, and we'll put, because I can't append a string and a list, so I have to use comma, and we're going to say your array. Might be able to do it without strings too, but all right, so let's go and what's the name of this? Okay, so let me bring this down. So to run this, I'm just going to type Python 3 sorted squared array.py. Okay, so it's telling you this program will take numbers in, square them, and sort them from least to greatest. How many numbers do you want in an array? Let's say 3. What is the next number in your array? Let's say 4. And then we'll do like -2. Let's do A. Must enter an integer amount. Okay, cool. Let's put 1. Okay, so your original array is 4, -2, 1. Okay, so it is working. Okay, so far. All right. So now what we want to do, and I'm going to make a comment, we want to square the array and list in order. Okay. So we're going to say 4, and let's say a number in your array. So I'm doing a for loop in Python. I'm going to say squared number equals number times number, and then squared array. It's just let me just make sure I called it squared array. So hit squared array. So we're going to say squared array, and we're going to append the squared number. Okay, so we're putting those numbers on. And then once we have that all done, we're going to take the squared array and we're going to use a sort function, which is a function in Python that will sort it. And then we'll print your sorted array is space, I'm doing the comma again, squared array. Okay, let's run this. So how many numbers do we want in the array? Let's do 5 this time. Let's do 10. We'll do negative 11. That should be greater than 10. We'll do 9. We'll do negative 12. And we'll do 3. Okay, so the original array is this. So 10, negative 11, 9, negative 12, 3. And then the sorted array is this, 9, 81. So 3 squared, 9 squared, 10 squared, negative 11 squared, and then negative 12 squared. Okay, and it sorts them from least to greatest. So our program is working. Again, in the question, I believe it was asking you to put it in a function, so you would want to do that. But that's not the real algorithm part of it, I don't think. So I hope this helps if you're preparing for an interview question or you just want to learn a little bit about Python and enjoy these kind of questions. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and have a great day.